Okay, perfect. Hi, kids. It's good to see everybody. I'm glad you're here. Okay, I just want to go over a few things with you that I learned from the weekend and then talk a little bit about our comfort zone because I heard some amazing information that I want to share with you guys. First of all, I just want to congratulate Dan Desmond. I think he watches these back on Team Act, and I want to congratulate him. He has been added to Performance Club. And we also have Vicki there as well, Laura Nowicki and Jeanette Palmer. So congratulations to you guys. Let's get those numbers up, kids. We only have 4 in so far. And I know we can at least double that. So let's work on that. And then I just want to say again, if at any time any of you are ready and really willing and wanting to go to Vision Summit in Lehi, Utah, it's always on Big Blue Calendar. It's always the second weekend of the month. It's always Friday, Saturday. They try to start later in the day Friday so people can drive or fly in. And they always try to get done early on Saturday so that people can fly out or drive home that night. They really want to make it affordable. It's a free event. And then you would just pay for your hotel stay and your dinners. And your travel. Lunch is provided for $25. That covers both days. I will go whenever anyone wants to go. I just want you to know I'm putting it out there. I will drive there in a heartbeat. So you say the word and I will go. And it's a great thing to bring guests to. Just want to encourage that. I also want to apologize and want to make sure that you guys are aware of, I'm not going to say, I'm going to assume that everybody is. The code training that was done by Carrie Dickey, not Carrie Dickey, but Jenny Crane created this with some other people. And it's thecodetraining.com, thecodetraining.com. And this is a great, it's a great tool. Like any topic you could ever think of, you can find in here. And I just think as we look ahead to doing our business and growing all the things, this is something that I think if you took time and maybe invested 1 to 2 hours a week, 1 to 2 hours a week just by going through this. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask and talk to you at the same time, and I obviously can't do it. Okay, here's the code stuff. What if we all just made that commitment, right? That like once a week we get through a module. I think that would be amazing. Because again, when I think about this last weekend, Brandon talked about the 4 pillars that are essential to build your business. And one of those is, of course, belief in the company. One is belief in the products, one is belief in network marketing, and one is belief in yourself. And the code training covers all of that. So as you can see, there's some I've looked at, there's some I haven't. It also goes through social media. This is just the products here. And every video is probably 4 to maybe 12, 13 minutes long. They're short. You literally could get through a module probably within an hour or less. And what if you just committed for the next few weeks, you did a module a week? Just doing that belief building for yourself would be a huge piece. So I just wanted to reiterate and make sure that you guys were aware of that, knew about it. Okay, the other thing that was brought up this weekend as another tool for belief building, and especially for new people, especially for us, we have to always be learning. But when you go to your app, you guys, in your app, if you go to the library, there is a section called documents in the library at the top that you can scroll to. And in those documents, I have not gone to this often. I know there's a training tab. I know there's a customer tab. I know that there's social shareables, but under documents, there's the opportunity packs right there, easy peasy. There's, what was the other one that was so great to see? The list of the cost of products, a product price list, awesome. And then also there's the sales compensation plan. So you can go to those documents and you can just put a little star on those and have them in your favorites. And if you're out with somebody, thank you for doing that, Crystal. Hi, Laura. If you're out talking to somebody and they want to know the price of something, to be able to say, oh, let me go to my app real quick, and you go to your favorites and you bring up the price list. I mean, you just look awesome by doing that, right? And it's just right there at your fingertips. So I wanted to make sure that you knew. Go to the documents tab and get some favorites there that you want to have accessible to you, and make sure that you mark those. I think that's really important. Okay. Oh, you can also enroll for the events on the app. I've never enrolled for events on the app. I've always just gone to my website, and to enroll for events through the app is the easiest thing ever, because your credit card's in there. It's already got all of your information. It's so easy. So I would tell you, next time you enroll for an event, do it through the app. Just make that a thing that you do, and you go to right away. The other thing, I debated on whether I should tell you or not, but what the hell. So this weekend, I met this woman that is a lender, but was really cute. Okay, so I did an open house, and she came to the open house, and she didn't just bring her business card to me, you guys. She had her business card hole punched, and then just this cute little ribbon in it. And then with it, she had a lottery ticket. Right. And I thought, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to always remember that. I'm going to always remember her. And it was St. Patrick's Day. This was St. Patrick's Day I saw her. So she was just going around, and she had those to pass out to people, her business card, and, hope you have a lucky day, and gave them the lottery ticket. Now, I'm not saying we should go buy lottery tickets, but we buy Axio. And what if, because I got my business cards through Vistaprint, okay? And Vistaprint, I paid like $11, because you can build your business cards for free, and then you just pay for the shipping. And what if you went through the website, or you thought of something that maybe it's strictly towards Axio, where your business card speaks to losing focus, or I don't know, something funny, like here's a little pick me up, here's something to get you through the rest of your day, and your cards were strictly focused on that Axio sample. And you just hole punched, and you had an Axio sample with it, and you made that a tool that would push you outside your comfort zone, because now you have a little tangible piece of something to give to people, right? To kind of start a conversation. Even if they look tired, hey, how's your day been? How's it going? How many hours do you have left to work here? Oh, I've got a full day. You know what? Here's a little pick me up. I hope this serves you well, and I hope that you love it. And you've got your name and your number on there, and you can just put text me at, right? Not putting LifeVantage. We're not putting our website. We're not going to let them go do the thing. We're just saying something to put a smile on their face. It gives them a pick me up and gives them a sample of Axio. It's an idea I had. I'm going to do it because I loved how theirs made me feel. Like, it put a smile on my face, and I just thought it was so, so sweet. So anyway, I wanted to bring that to your attention. If you guys have some good ideas, you think there might be a fun saying that you would put on it, then, share with the group, and let's do that. Pop buys. Yep. Yeah. It was so cute. It was so sweet, right? What if we had every Wednesday for an hour, I'm going to do pop buys. It just means maybe you go to a friend's doorstep. Maybe you go where someone is working. Maybe you go to the church offices. Like, you go somewhere where people are, that some of them. You're like, yep, I just want to put a little smile on your face today. And it's just a sample to help them get through the rest of the day. What if, right? Okay. So I listened to this podcast by Jay Shetty, and it was about comfort zone. And I had to share this with you guys because I thought it was just so, so good. So I'm just going to go through some of this. He said, how many of you have spent the majority of your time in your comfort zone? And even when you try to push your limits, you still feel completely trapped by your own comfort zone. Many times we don't even know we are inside one. I know I've done that many times in my life where you're in your head and you know you should do the next thing. It's almost like when we go to the gym and we're working out, what reps do they say make the biggest difference? It's the extra ones, right? It's the ones you do after you're done. So in this case too, like after we've done our baseline, let's say for the the WHAM group has a baseline that you set for yourself that you're going to do every single week, no matter what. And what if once you did your baseline, that's a comfortable thing for you, you did that extra couple, that extra couple. But how many times do we say, nope, that was enough. I don't need to feel anxiety. I don't need to push myself. So we stay in it. We stay in the comfort zone. Many times we don't even know that we're inside a comfort zone. We're being trapped by our mindsets and beliefs and behaviors, and it's limiting what is possible in our lives. We're being trapped by our mindsets, beliefs, and behaviors, and it's limiting what is possible in our lives. Here's a comfort zone definition. It's a behavioral state where a person operates in first an anxiety neutral condition, using a limited set of behaviors to deliver a steady level of performance, and usually without any sense of risk. Have you guys ever felt that way? Like you're going through and you're doing your business week to week or day to day, but you're doing just enough so that it still feels okay. You don't feel that anxiety. You feel good about your performance, but nothing's really stretched you too much. And you still feel calm and you still feel comfortable, right? That's a comfort zone definition. Are you constantly trying to be in an anxiety neutral condition and deliver a steady level of performance? We have all had anxiety and it can affect our performance and distract it. And we don't feel happy with the burden of anxiety. The other extreme where we have no anxiety is when we try to eliminate it completely. And law states that that actually creates boredom and lack of purpose. So when we don't feel anxiousness and we don't feel like that itch of, oh my gosh, that fear, then it's just putting us in a state of, that's okay, right? But then we're still in our head because we're not pushing ourselves out. And then that leads us down a hole, a really dark hole. Anxiety can be intentionally invited into your life. Intentionally invited into your life. We often think that if we are able to do the same level of performance every day, that creates stability and reliability and security, but then we never get to experience if our performance would increase, our joy could increase, or our learning could increase. We are basically saying, I'm happy with the skills I have, and that can set us back in life. We don't grow and we don't find out just how much we have the capacity to grow. When we protect ourselves from experiencing pain, we actually become more fragile. So I think I did not qualify for a incentive trip until 7 years into my journey with LifeVantage. It took me 7 years to finally get an incentive trip. And up until then, I was really good at telling myself, that's okay. I don't need it. Because if I go, that'll be completely uncomfortable because I have to travel. I have to be around all these people that I don't know. I have to put a swimsuit on around all these people I don't know. And I don't need to deal with that. Like, it's okay if I don't make it. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And then one day I'll make enough that I can pay for it on my own. Am I ever going to get to the point where one day I can pay for it on my own if I keep that mindset? No way. There's no way that you can. Can you repeat that last line of what you read? I think when we protect ourselves from experiencing pain, we actually become more fragile. So I'm going to go on. There's a story of two families, okay? Both have gardens and they're neighbors. And one of the neighbors is very detailed with their garden. Like they're perfectionists about it. There's a certain amount of water, a certain amount of fertilizer, like everything is measured, and they're just very, very acute in how they take care of their garden. The other neighbor, they take good care of their garden, but they're not as detailed. They just love it well. They take care of it. They don't do everything perfect. but they pay attention to it, right? So neither of the families, so then a storm comes through. It's a horrible storm that lasts for about 3 days, and neither of the families can tend to their garden. So after 3 days, both families go out to see how their garden is. And the family that were perfectionists, that took care of every detail, not one plant survived the storm. Not one plant was able to come back because it was in such a comfort zone of how it was taken care of, and everything was so measured every single day that it had no resourcefulness of how to take care of itself and how to grow outside of what someone was doing for it. The other family, though, that had the other garden, some of their plants didn't make it, but there were some that did, because it was more resourceful and those plants knew how to get what it needed to continue to come back and to grow. Just thought that was such a great story. So the overbearing of ourselves, if we become too hard on ourselves and we think that we have to know everything before we get started, and we have to be perfect before we do an online presentation, or we have to be perfect before we put ourselves out there and do anything else, or we can't possibly be vulnerable on social media because we have to look like we have it all together because no one would possibly want to deal with us if we're not perfect, then that's actually a weakness, and that actually holds us back, and we become like overbearing on ourselves. And then we're actually putting a lid on our potential because we're not allowing ourselves to have that uncomfortable state and that anxiety that is necessary to grow and be all that you're supposed to be. You don't want to invite pain, but staying in your comfort zone can limit you and restrict your growth and block you from your potential. It can trap you. You get trapped because you're scared. The roles we take on in life are limited by our current, okay, this is so good. The roles we take on in life are limited by our current perception of ourselves. And our current perception could be trapped by our comfort zone. So if we have a perception of ourselves that we are less than, and we compare, and we don't know as much as someone else does, or we don't look as good as someone else does, it's trapping us, and that's going to keep us in that comfort zone of doing just enough, getting by under the radar. So I still feel comfortable, but I don't have to deal with the anxiety and the busyness that someone else is dealing with because I couldn't possibly relate to that and I couldn't possibly do that. It's trapping you. It's keeping you held back. So there's a diagram that I want to share with you guys of your comfort zone. I hope I didn't get rid of it. I think I did. Hold on. There it is. So a lot of times people will see this comfort zone, or somebody starts something new and they instantly just want to jump from being inside their comfort zone to getting to the growth zone. And that's not always something that serves us, right? So what if instead of you thinking to yourself, okay, well, now I have to inflict anxiety on myself and I have to make sure that I take the big leap out of it, then you're just going to find yourself all flustered, and it's not going to actually put you in a growth zone. It's probably going to set you outside. You're going to go to the left. So this fear zone right here, this comfort zone, is where we feel safe, where we're in control of things. We control the narrative. And even if somebody wants us to do something, we know that we have the right to say no, because we don't want to make ourselves too uncomfortable. We don't want to put too much on our plate, right? And then there's a fear zone. And the fear zone is how many don't try anything new because we're scared of what other people will think. So you're affected by other people's opinions in the fear zone. You're finding excuses. You're lacking self-confidence. He said, we live so much for perception and reputation that we give up our purpose. What's more important to you? Your potential or other people's perception? Your purpose or your reputation? Respecting yourself or others respecting you? The realizations that you'll gain along the way by doing the stuff that's scary, or the reputation that you hope to maintain. And then there's the learning zone. This is where we deal with challenges and problems. We acquire new skills, and we're extending our comfort zone. We're learning. And in the learning zone, we think we should have it all figured out already many times, but we must keep learning, must keep learning. This is where you want to learn, and then you want to apply it, and you want to teach it. It's not just a matter of learning so that you can keep it to yourself and then assume that everybody else probably already knows it, or because this sentence just completely blew my mind, that this probably won't blow anyone else's mind, so there's really no need to share it. It's finding those things that you're learning that really make your stomach kind of churn and really make you feel like alive and like this awakening and aha moment, and then taking that and teaching it and applying it and using it for other people. Because then when we take it and we apply it and we're willing to teach other people or share it with other people, and then you get that feedback, that's when you start to grow. And it's the same thing with this business, right? When you're applying the tools, when you're learning the tools of network marketing and how amazing passive income is for yourself, or when you're learning that our products are just so phenomenal and that there's this P factor that means that like Protandim, like 1 in 10,000 was, I can't even get it right. You have to watch the video, but like it's mind blowing, our science behind our products. And going back to that and learning that stuff again, and then learning it, making it a part of you, but not keeping it to yourself, to the fact where you stay in your comfort zone because the anxiety of sharing it with someone else is there's just too much fear in it. If you're willing to learn it and you're willing to get past that fear, then that's when you can grow. That's when you should take the steps to share it and share it with other people. And be okay with making mistakes. The allowance of failure means you're getting out of your comfort zone. Be okay with making mistakes. Then you keep learning and you start to perform from creating and teaching and sharing, and you start to thrive. So what can you do to start small and then accelerate? What little step can you take to step outside your comfort zone and discover more of your potential? Isn't that so good, you guys? I just thought that was such an eye-opening thing when I listened to that. I was listening, and then I listened again. I'm like, I got to share this with everybody. So I listened back and I took notes while I did it, and I couldn't wait to share it with you guys. And so it brings me to, I have a gift card for $100 for the LV store, and I want you guys to have it. And I want you guys to want to do stuff that brings you that anxiety, that scares you, that I can't tell you how many times I've told people when they tell me like, how's real estate going? I'm like, slow, but I feel so good because it's hard and I have fear and I'm anxious about it, but I know that that means good things are growing inside of me. I know that I'm going to grow in so many different ways that I can apply to all areas of my life, especially for you guys in my LifeVantage business, which that's a priority. So I want to get your guys' feedback with this little bit of time we have left. Like, I would love to know, or even if you don't think about it, I'm just planting the seed right now. What would be like a good team incentive? I don't want it to be long. I want it to be like a 7 to 10 day thing where it's like putting in the action. And then we have, we can use the $100 gift card as the prize, but something that puts us into action, that puts us with each other, racing with each other, right? Accountability with each other, cheering each other on, but getting to that point where we're just really stretching ourselves to end this month strong, especially going into Activate in June. So the code training, yep, that's a good idea. I would love it though to be something that puts us the real fear stuff, right? I think it's easy to watch training. Yeah. But yeah, most invites, something like that. The most third parties. You know what I thought would be really cool is for every person that decides to relaunch in the next 7 to 10 days and wants to do a Zoom presentation with me where you share your story and we present together and you relaunch your business, for every person that does that, your name goes into a drawing for that $100 gift card. I think that would be really, really cool. Does that make you guys a little nervous and freaky and scared? I really kind of think that's what we should do because I think it'd be so much fun. So I think a better idea. Yes, Jen.
What I put in the, what if we, I mean, you could do like a combination of a couple different things that are hard in general, like something personal, but also something, so even like sending your why to you. Um, Even going back into the back of your app and just filling out some of those little kinds of things, like going into that. Maybe there's 3 things. I don't know.
No, I love that. I was thinking about that too. So all of you except Jen, I wouldn't get any, like if you went into the app and you redid your goals, I wouldn't see anyone's. I would only see like Jen Dykstra's because she's my personal enrollment. So it would have to be like you taking a screenshot after you did it. But I wanted to do this since I went to Vision Summit. They talked about like a contract that you fill out this contract and you sign it. And you're basically telling me how much you want to work, what you want. There's certain questions on that. So I could type that up, get that to everyone that would want it. You get that back to me. And then based on that, right, in the next 7 to 10 days, it's like we're relaunching. You got to set that Zoom. It would be so fun, you guys, right? And even if you're afraid and you're already judging people and you're like, who's going to show up? Like, use it as your invite. Like, look, I don't think anyone's going to show up. Will you just be a face on the Zoom for me? Will you just please make me not look like a loser? Will you please just like, it's the very first invite we tell all the new people to do. It is. It's like, will you just do me this favor? It's the number one invite Eric says to use. And they say to you to use it as long as you can. I was just telling Nicole that, like, use the fact that you're new for as long as you possibly can and say, look, I don't know anything like for the new person, but for you, look, I want to relaunch. I'm excited about this. There's so much ahead and I'm relaunching. Would you just be a face on the Zoom for me? Would you just support me in this? And say nothing else, right? And let them know it'll be 30 minutes of their life. We're not going to make this long, but you're going to do it with me. You're going to be a part of it. They always said from the beginning, the person in front of the room is the one making the money. And that has never changed. It is what I see all the time. The person in front of the room, whether they're doing a presentation and they're up on stage, they're the ones making the money. Simply because they're the ones getting themselves outside their comfort zone. They're doing all the scary crap and they're working their way through it to get to that point of growth. They're growing because of the fear. So the fear and the anxiety you feel, I just want you to learn to embrace it. And when you feel it, know that it's a good thing. And it means you should keep going. It means you should do a couple extra reps to really grow the muscle. It's there for a reason. Okay. And then Brandon Cunningham this weekend with the virtual Zoom, you guys, virtual academy. The last thing I want to leave you with is always register for LifeVantage Academy. Even if you cannot be there in person, register so you can get the playback because it's the best I've ever seen, ever in the history of ever. Yes, Vicki.
So I bought a ticket and I attended in person in Sioux Falls, but in my email I got a login for the virtual. So if I can I still watch the virtual and will it be Brandon?
I'm hoping so. It sounds like some people were telling me they couldn't and some people were saying that they could. Crystal, did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I registered for Orlando and I didn't end up going and I watched virtual because I got a link.
Awesome.
And it was Brandon.
Yay. Wasn't he so good? It was so good, you guys. He talked about passive income in such a beautiful way and how much passive income is needed by people right now. So I would really like just say to you too, I'm going to put together the contract. I'm going to put it together. I am going to have it done by Wednesday. So I will work on that tomorrow. I'll have it done Wednesday. And then I'm just going to post a question in Team Act. Who wants to fill out the contract? Then I want you to prick your finger and sign in blood. Just kidding. Wouldn't that be funny? No. But we're going to put it out there. And then just know when you do, there's going to be some discomfort on the other side, and we're going to have fun because enough's enough. Don't you want to grow? Like, we want to grow, right? We want to grow. So let's do the scary stuff and embrace it and have so much fun with it and mess up and not do it perfect and just show people like our culture and our community and that it's okay. It's okay. So that's going to be my prayer, that you will all do the contract. And I really think that's going to be our incentive. $100. I might throw in more even, just to really push people outside that comfort zone to take this leap and do it. Okay. All right. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for just creating all of us that are here and a part of this team. And I thank you for the fact that there is so much that's bigger for us and so much that's out there for us, because we know that the majority of people will live their life in that little bubble. And some may wonder what more could be, and some may never know, because no one like us will come into their life and show them that it's possible. And that's just the greatest gift we could offer to anybody, is just to show them that they are capable of so much more, and life could be so much more. And that looks different for everybody. That doesn't mean more things, but sometimes it means more confidence, so that you're able to touch more people in a way that you can inspire people with the same kind of story that you have. So help us to just step outside our comfort zones, step by step, day by day, embracing the fear, embracing the anxiety, looking to you to walk beside us through all of it, and just helping us to find our tribes, those people that need our stories, that need us to take those steps every day, because we will be the ones blazing the trail for them. Help us to see those footprints, our footprints beside you, and all those people that will come behind us because we were brave enough to do so. So I just pray that for all of us, Lord. I just pray for just some really exciting, beautiful steps to be taken in this last part of March, Lord, that we would just all step up and step into the things that scare us the most, because we know on the other side, you just have so much more in store for us. In your name we pray, amen. All right, let's do it. Okay, thanks for being here, you guys. Love you. And we will stay tuned. Okay, watch Team Act. I'll be putting it out there soon. Bye.